Good evening. Thank you as always for joining us. Teresa is off today. We're going to begin with our top story. The New York Attorney General's office has released body-worn camera footage in the deadly attack of a local man, Robert Brooks, 43 years old, and his encounter with corrections officers and staff at Marcy Correctional Facility. That's in Oneida County, just outside of Utica. It happened earlier this month. Natalie Kutchko joins us now in studio with more on this case and the status of the investigation. Natalie.
Adam, just horrific video that came down today. 43-year-old Robert Brooks of Greece was previously incarcerated and transferred to the facility in Marcy, New York. As mentioned, Brooks was serving a 12-year sentence for an assault here in Monroe County. And we do want to warn our viewers, the footage we are about to share is disturbing to watch. The incident took place December 9th. Attorney General Tish James says the 4 correction officers involved in this case did have their body cameras powered on but not activated, so no sound was recorded. So here we're about to see some of the footage released as part of this investigation in its initial stages. You see Brooks was handcuffed outside the facility, carried in by his arms and legs, and while sitting on an examination table, Brooks is punched and kicked repeatedly by officers, which did continue. Brooks later died at a hospital in Utica the following day, December 10th, and the Attorney General says she has been talking with Brooks' family based here at home and shares the footage out of transparency. So here are some of her words from earlier today.
As Attorney General, you have my word that we will use every possible tool available to us to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly. I want to reiterate that we are investigating this case thoroughly and using every tool at our disposal to ensure that there is transparency and accountability for the events that preceded Mr. Brooks's death. I also want to make clear that this video and the conduct of these officers should not reflect poorly on the work and professionalism of the countless correction officers and correctional facility nurses throughout the state who go to work every day to protect and serve those in their care.
Meantime, Governor Kathy Hochul responding this afternoon, saying in part, quote, "Like all New Yorkers, I was outraged and horrified after seeing footage of the senseless killing of Robert Brooks. I have been clear that it is the responsibility of the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision to provide appropriate care and protection for those in its custody, and I will not tolerate anyone who violates that responsibility." Now, the governor is calling for the DOC's commissioner in all this to begin the termination process for the 14 people involved in the fatal attack. As mentioned, that video we saw includes 4 correction officers, but others are involved here. She also extends her condolences to Brooks' family and credited the Attorney General, state police, and others working with the state's team to make sure that justice is served in this case. Adam, back to you.
A story we are going to be covering for a long time. Natalie, thank you. Meanwhile, Rochester Mayor Malik Evans also responding to this incident, saying in part, quote, "My heart goes out to Mr. Brooks' family and friends, and I call on all of Rochester to keep them in your prayers as they process this terrible incident," adding those responsible for this appalling act must be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law.